In this episode, we are going to discover a place with heart and as well as a person with heart and power. And I don't ever think that there is a coincidence. And I think also meeting Hager in Luxor is a creates a profound experience of power and heart. Today we're going to discover who Hager is and what's her story that she is going to tell us all about. Hi,
Hello.
how are you?
Good. Alhamdulillah.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
If I may start, do you want to know who I am today or 10 years ago?
I'm always about the present, so today, but I'm sure you can never leave behind those versions of yourself.
100%. So, today, my name is Hager Aboutaleb. First and foremost, I'm a mom of two beautiful kids, Hussein and Alia. I live in Dubai. I'm originally from Alexandria, Egypt. I moved to Dubai 18 years ago. I'm a fitness coach. I am the founder and head coach at Beat Fitness, which is a fitness institution based in Dubai. I'm also a mindset and body transformation coach. So I'm a mix of everything. Why I said now? Because I think I've transformed a lot throughout the years since back then when I was living in Alexandria, when I started my career, how I evolved in everything personally, in my corporate job. I worked in different industries, so I believe that change is inevitable. And if I may introduce myself, I'm an strong advocate for change. So this is Hager today. Not sure who Hager will be in 5 years.
Beautiful answer. Honest, beautiful answer. Since we're talking about new beginnings, you're leaving corporate in Dubai,
Yeah.
which is huge, and fully dedicating your time into the fitness landscape, the entrepreneurship landscape.
Yeah.
One, how does that feel? Is it scary?
Yeah, it is. It's a bittersweet taste. So there's a big scary part of it, for sure. But it's also coupled with a lot of excitement and goosebumps. So
I guess this is how you know it's the right step to take. You have been in the fitness landscape for a while. Can you tell us a little bit about Beat and how it was born, and maybe a little bit about the name? And
sure. So I've been playing sports all my life. So as you know, I used to play basketball, although good then that I'm not standing up. So I played basketball for a while. Then I played squash for the longest time. I was also always into sports, into fitness, and then life took over. Motherhood took over, and fitness was always the means to either lose weight or somehow getting back to myself. But it was never a priority until maybe 12 years ago. Again, it started after I delivered my daughter, my second child, where I wanted to lose the belly fat like any other mother.
yes.
And I was going through a rough time in my personal life. I was going through my separation and divorce after that. And this is where I found myself. This is where fitness was my savior. So it was my daily constant. At this time, I felt like my compass was broken. And my hour of training was my only constant that I felt safe within. So, and it took over from there, and it accelerated. I joined a fitness group where I started training with them. They took me on board. They taught me everything, and I wanted to take it more professionally. So I went and I took my personal training certificate, and I studied, and I really wanted to understand if I'm directing someone or someone's coming to ask me about advice or injury or something. I really wanted to know what I'm doing, and how to really have an impact there or give value.
We were discussing knowledge versus wisdom.
Yeah.
Like where knowledge lies and where wisdom starts, and is it experience, or like if it's experience or it's knowledge is enough. So can you elaborate a little bit, because I really liked your viewpoint on this.
So experience or knowledge is very important. I believe knowledge is the base for everything else. So,
And this is where you sought out taking the certifications.
yes, because I wanted to know the bits and pieces of everything, the building blocks, the anatomy, how things work. When I do this, when I eat this, how will it impact my body? How will it impact my well-being? Everything, because everything in life is related. You cannot take things in isolation. So knowledge is king, but experience creates wisdom. So if you give knowledge without actually going through it yourself, I'm not saying that you're not going to be valuable. You're going to be valuable, but you'll have kind of a limitation where you cannot be compassionate with the person in front of you because they doesn't live it. But when you live it and know, so when I tell you, for example, here is your nutrition plan, or here is your workout program, and I don't know the struggles that I went through it myself, I will be very harsh. At a certain point, I will just expect results without really knowing how it feels and feeling when you have a setback or so on and so forth. So yeah, it creates a lot of wisdom. So going back to
Your
years to,
certification.
yeah,
Yes.
I took my certification. I started doing my own body recomposition programs, which is mainly developing exercise and nutrition plans personalized to people to transform their body. This is how it started, body transformation.
Yeah.
And with it came a lot of mind transformation. I figured with experience, with the number of clients that I worked with, the one with smaller problems and bigger problems and different lifestyles, the one that were with me in Dubai, outside Dubai, the key for change is mindset. It always starts with the mind. Nothing will change if someone is not in the right space emotionally and mentally.
Right. I love that. I love that you're honing in on the mind-body connection.
Yeah.
But some people say it starts with the mind, and others say it starts with the body. Like when you start moving, sometimes you can actually handle your anxiety better or handle your fears better when you, like, it's somewhere, it's how is it called? It's getting out of your head. You're like, you if you want to get out of your head, go for a walk. Like, I've been told that a million times, you know?
100%. But the first step comes from the mind.
How
So you can know that if you walk, it's knowledge. If you walk, you'll feel better, endorphins will come up, you'll have more mind clarity, you'll come back a different person. But in order for you to actually put your fitness gear on, put your shoes on, and step out of your door, it's your mind.
Actually.
And it starts again with motivation. I can have the motivation where I know I want to reach that goal, I want to reach that physique, I want to reach that feeling, but what keeps you going, again, is not the motivation, it is the mind. It is the habit that you develop over time.
I was just going to ask you about consistency. Yeah. Consistency is a big thing, a big word, especially in fitness or in anything that you want to actually get done, honestly, or for it to be impactful. But consistency, I don't think anyone speaks how difficult it is to be consistent. Like, I mean, it's like, yeah, all you have to do is be consistent, but how?
It depends on where you are. So, and this brings me back to where or why I opened Beat. So what I've seen through the people that I worked with one-on-one, there was always a point where they lost this motivation and it became a bit challenging to be consistent. And I always have in my programs, and people that listen to me that are on my program already, I have always one session a week that is HIIT training, circuit training, that they need to do on their own. And 8 out of 10 will drop that day. You will find it unmarked.
Like, oh, it's as if it's a vacation because they're not required to show up.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. No, I'm not going to do HIIT on my own.
Interesting.
So
I would relate.
It's because it's a mind game. You keep on running like a rat around yourself, and it's mind challenging. So I kept on thinking, how can I do this? And I thought maybe I bring everyone who has who's on my online program together on the same day to do this HIIT workout together to create this sense of motivation, sense of belonging. They're not doing it on their own. We're not suffering alone. We suffer together, you know.
Yes.
So this is where I started Beat, and I started in my backyard garden in Ramadan, and I said maybe people can come after iftar where we can all get together. I very famous of my Arabic coffee, and I do some Arabic coffee on the side. We all come together. We do an hour of a workout, just very basic. We sit and chat after, and then they leave. And then it went really well after Ramadan. And then this is where Beat started.
Yes, this is where it was born. I love also that because the second space we were going to talk about is belonging. There's a very big relation between fitness and community. People tend to join for the community feeling, because you go there individually feeling that, okay, fine, my goal is to like get ripped, or my goal is to get healthy, or my goal is to get taller, regardless of the goals, right?
Yeah.
But what you find there, and what beautifully was how Beat was born, I think, you know, it was actually born from that sense of community rather than from the other way around.
100%.
You know? So I would also love for you to reflect with me a little bit about that relationship between community and fitness, and how in Beat you kind of grow with it.
Honestly, community, even for the best trainers in the world, the best athletes in the world, you come to a certain point in your journey where you need someone to pick you up. So, and this is life, you know. Yes. You cannot do life on your own. You cannot go through ups and downs on your own. You cannot be celebrating your achievements on your own, or struggling alone. It's not fair, right? So this is where community plays a role, which is our essence, or the basics in life. So same for fitness. So Beat stands for mainly three things. Beat is heartbeat. So you push yourself in training, you do some cardio, you do some fitness classes, you do some strength classes, and your heart beats more. So there's the fitness aspect of it. There's another aspect of Beat, as in beat your goals, beat your challenges, go for it, beat yourself, beat your mindset.
Yeah.
And lastly, Beat as in music beats, the fun, because working out and working on yourself, and it doesn't have to be dull, doesn't have to be alone, doesn't have to be boring. It can be with lovely music, with live music. We have even monthly DJ sessions that we all have fun on the Beat, and we usually dance in the last few minutes. Yeah. It's fun. It should be fun.
Okay.
So
it seems like fun. Please continue.
Yeah, I was just going back to your question that community. What I see in my community, I'm trying to build a safe environment for people to work. Not everyone is confident in going to a big gym where they see everyone knowing what to do. They know how to operate the machines. They feel that everyone is looking at them. If they don't know how to use this machine, they feel like everyone is looking. Oh, I should be outside, or everyone's so ripped, or carrying heavy weights and just dropping the barbell. It's intimidating.
It is quite intimidating, especially when it comes to yoga and Pilates and all those like other movement classes. They are intimidating in their own way, but still there is softness around them. But again, and the strength it takes, it has intimidation, an intimidating factor to it, 100%.
Yeah. So this is where Beat comes, where I create smaller community. We operate in a boutique space where even the aesthetics is very soothing. You feel that it's inviting you in, and there is this essence and motivation of a group community, while there's the focus of the personal training. So we know each other well. I know each member's injuries, experience, what they do, what they eat, everything. So I'm able to tailor whatever exercise we're doing for them, correct their moves, give them advice based on their personal experience.
Out of curiosity, what are the types, or give you an example of the program? Like for me, I would definitely be intimidated knowing my history with health, my health journey that I've been on. But for example, right now I'm thinking I want to feel stronger. I want to feel stronger in my body, right?
Yeah.
Like with gentleness and with softness, but still I want to feel stronger in my body. I want to feel like I am capable, but I still have the choice, right? I think that's the space. And where would beat come in?
I'll tell you. But before I tell you, I'll tell you one small thing. Actually, I was thinking about it this morning while I was in the gym. Strength training plays two different roles. It goes from the one side of the spectrum to the opposite side. One side is working on your goals, giving it your all out. You'll feel some pain or discomfort. All right. This may seem harsh.
It's a bit honestly for me on my journey of joie de vivre. It is for me. It's like I'd never do that,
and it's very normal to feel that way.
Yeah.
But here comes the mindset shift.
Yes.
Where the other spectrum is, I love my body so much, and I love myself. So I'm getting goosebumps, and I love myself so much, and I am so important to myself that I'm gonna make myself stronger, because this feeling makes me conquer the world inside the gym and outside the gym. I deserve to give myself a healthy way of growing up.
Yeah.
So beat comes in a place where I have my classes. Classes are a way of, they're for all levels. So if someone is a beginner, they will come in, they will be taught techniques of where we break down each move. We have a technique class where they understand each move from the first step till the end, and then we build strength on that. So in this way, we make sure that people are getting stronger without getting injured, which is unlike when you go to big classes.
Which is honestly the kind of balance, if I'm going to make it about personal, this is the kind of balance that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You know, I want it gentle, but at the same time, I want to feel the strength. You know, I don't want to feel the excruciating pain of leaving the gym, but still I want to feel that, you know, like, oh my goodness, no, I'm having a muscle here, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this is where it's spot on for beginners, and and this I've been through. So a few years ago, I got a back injury. And in this space, I stayed, I think, for around 2 months, going back to basics. And I had to go and train with a coach. He was an amazing guy who broke down, because I'm into CrossFit, he broke down the CrossFit moves into 4 or 5 steps.
Yeah.
Where we work on step 1, then step 2, then step 3. We increase the weights gradually, bit by bit, with the compassion. Because he has been also through this, so he understands.
He understands. And this is where empathy plays in, like, to soften a little bit the mindset, like, it's like, you get it, but with love.
Yeah, 100%. And this is answering the previous question that you said, how do people work on being consistent if you are at a space where they make you feel stronger, yet you feel good about yourself. You come out of the session feeling good about myself. And this is honestly, I believe, is my goal, because everyone is a star from inside. I would like to, it's light, but I personally like to call it a star. It's our journey to find that star and highlight it. So if you have someone in your life or a community in your life that's able to get this star out, and your star can be different than mine,
Of course.
but shining or spotting a spotlight on this star will make you want to come, want to be consistent, want to show up for yourself. And after that, magic happens.
So I love that. I would also like to zoom in a little bit about I want to say mentality of transformation, of allowing yourself to transform.
Yeah.
You are a transformational fitness coach, and you have transformed so many times. Talk to me, so there will be wisdom there. Knowledge and experience brings wisdom. Tell me about it. Tell me about transformation, and maybe hit a little bit on the fear of transformation.
Okay. Transformation starts with, again, it's all in the mind. There comes a point in everyone's life, maybe it comes multiple times, where you feel unsettled. You feel there's something happening. There's something not going well. Not because I am not a responsible person or because I'm just being grumpy about my life, but it just feels, no, there's more. There's more. I have more. I want to get it out, but I don't know how. So at this point, there has to be some kind of leap of faith where you say, you know what? I trust myself and I'm going to take this step. And I resonate so much even now with this current feeling.
Yes.
And then you take the first step. Whether this first step is to contact someone or to bring this word or interest to the world. Bring the word out.
Yes.
Speak it out to the world, to the universe, to your friend, to anyone. And then you can see how much, if this is meant for you, how things will just flow and answers will come to you and path is just lighting up and clearing for you. So that's the first step. Once you get there and you really understand what you want to do, you have to be in it for the long haul.
Yeah. And this is where consistency probably comes.
Exactly. And this is what training in general teaches you. It teaches you resilience. It teaches you delayed gratification. It teaches you that you have to be consistent for a long time in order to see results. But once you see results, oh my God, the amount of self-trust you get, the amount of appreciation you have to yourself, you stop wanting
to play small, probably.
100%, and you stop seeking this attention from outside. You can have a transformation goal because you want to look good, and it's fine.
Yeah.
And you want to impress, and again, it's fine. But this feeling or this goal will not sustain consistency, will not sustain you for a long time. The feeling of feeling good, feeling confident, showing up for yourself, knowing that, as an example, when you do a set of 12 reps and you're really struggling, what do you tell yourself? I'll keep going. I'll keep going. And once you're done, you tap yourself on the back. And this, if you apply it on life, this is confidence. You know that you are capable of going through hard shit and you're going to do it no matter what comes your way. You are strong inside before outside.
I think this is a beautiful motto, a beautiful life motto. The idea of keep going, and I think it was one of my. I hold many mottos, like I plug into like what do I need now kind of state now. But before it was like my one and only, keep going. But where does rest come within that dynamic? Like, because sometimes I really feel that it's like hitting your goals, you're hitting your goals. What if I don't want to hit my goals? What if I want to rest? And I'm like, most of the time, for me, I find joie de vivre in that space. The space where I do the work and then I let it integrate. And it integrates in rest. So where does that space within your world?
So it has two spaces, the mindset space and the physical space.
Yeah.
Let's start with the mindset space. Mindset space, as we said, we have two spectrums. We have the spectrum of pushing, reaching your goals, beating it up, becoming unbeatable, which is my program.
Yes.
And then you have the space of compassion, rest, clapping for yourself, reflecting on your journey, and so on and so forth. And within that spectrum, there is a lot of layers. There's the layer where you're pushing, you're aiming for the best, but at a point, you can't.
Yeah.
So you stop and you tell yourself, it's okay. I've tried my best, because this is the experience of from here, the first part of the spectrum, until the middle. I've tried my best.
Yeah.
Okay? Next time, I'll try again. So next time you try again, but this time you're gonna reach this side.
Yeah.
Third time, so on and so forth. This is called progressive overload. Even the mind has a progressive overload, because you gain trust with yourself. You consciously or subconsciously tell yourself, I've done it before, so I can do it again. And this time you get even more stronger.
Yes.
Then there's the spectrum of over time, when you become more intuitive with yourself, you'll know the space where this is becoming more ego than self-help. So you'll know, okay, I mean that I am pushing to prove something. I am not pushing to benefit my body, because there is the part where when I push here, I'm gonna get injured.
Yeah.
Or when I push here, I'm gonna feel exhausted or stressed, and my cortisol level will get higher.
Yeah.
And this is how it will evolve. So this is the mindset part, and you can mirror on it the physical part, where when you train hard, you have to rest really well and recover.
In the yin and yang, I guess it
100%.
administered, balance is administered in everything, I believe.
100%.
So you said something about cortisol, and for me, cortisol is like the biggest what's it called? Not the elephant in the room. What's
The
it called?
scare.
The boogeyman. You know,
Yeah.
because I've suffered a heart attack 2 years ago, which is unexplainable for me because in my mind I'm a woman and I'm young, and
Yeah.
so it's like it doesn't make sense. But again, it was stress.
100%.
And it was cortisol, because cortisol is the hormone responsible for stress or our stress endurance.
100%.
So you were talking, where does cortisol come within that dynamic of the fitness and the heavy lifting, and because there is a correlation there.
100%. So we need to befriend stress to a certain level.
Yeah.
Okay? So why do we go through stress in life? We go through stress to survive. In the old age, when you go in fight or flight, or there's a lion running behind you, your cortisol level heightens up for you to run. Same goes in our modern life. In some cases where you need to focus on a deadline, you have a workout that you need to get done, you need your cortisol, you need it. It's your friend. Without it, you're going to be like a jello.
Yeah.
And nobody can achieve anything in a jello mode unless you're meant to be a jello to rest.
Yes.
All right? But anything in excess, whether it's excess dieting, excess eating, excess rest, excess pushing in the gym, excess running, anything in excess will have a negative impact, whether on your joints, on your stress level, on your emotional being, on your mental well-being, everything. So balance is key. So this is the starting point. So how do we manage that? In training, that's why you have to work with someone who has the knowledge to be able to take you through this journey, where we work in cycles, where there are periods where you go all out, and there are periods where you have active rest, so you're still moving, because movement is life, but you're actually resting your muscles. And there are times where you completely rest. You really reflect on your journey, feed your mind, feed your emotional being, and at sometimes you really need to feel that you don't have anything to do. You don't have to show up for anyone or for anything now.
Yeah.
And you go back even stronger, which is a deload period. And we can tackle it differently if we go into details.
Yeah.
So what does cortisol level do? When you go in a space where your cortisol levels are really high, and this can happen from excess training, this can happen from eating much less than what your body burns over time, your cortisol level gets higher, it holds on to the fat in your body, so you're actually not eating and you're doing excessive cardio and you're not losing any weight or any fat. And this is what most of my clients come to me with. I'm not eating, I'm doing cardio, I'm running every day.
My body's like freeze.
And
the body's scared.
Exactly. And whenever I eat just a small piece of chocolate or I breathe, I gain fat or I gain weight. This is because our bodies are very smart, where ربنا سبحانه وتعالى خلق جسمنا in a way where when you go in this state, it stops burning energy in unnecessary survival spaces. So your reproductive system gets hit, your skin gets hit, your hair gets hit. That's why people lose their hair. Their skin becomes dry, they have breakage, they get pimples, their metabolism is much lower because your body wants to conserve this energy to live. So what I do is I work around stress, or I manipulate stress. So I keep the body moving in a way that it consistently burns calories, but in a very low pace.
I love that.
And I make them eat the maximum they can eat within their BMR. So over time, their body knows that when they eat, it still burns, and I don't have to hold on anything, and they actually get more energy, they feel more nourished because they're actually eating and they're not overstressing themselves.
They're living like this is. I think this could be a plan that you can live with. And here comes again the consistency.
100%.
I think consistency comes in when you build a space for it to happen without agony, like without the suffering.
Sustainable plans.
Exactly.
100%.
For things to be sustainable, they cannot be painful.
100%.
Yeah. Or not painful for long, because pain is part of the process, but the process of life.
100%.
Do you have like a certain methods to de-stress or to manage stress? Because I'm sure, like, let's take you away a little bit from the Beat head coach persona, or the founder of Beat persona, and take you into the space of Hager, the person, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure your life is little. I mean, Dubai is stressful, kind of like we love it, but
Yeah. Fast pace.
Yes, it's quite the fast pace. A single mom for that.
Yeah.
Listening to your heart, and God knows how hard that is, in the world. I'm not gonna even say you're like in the corporate and moving into, no, just listening, following your heart and following your passion requires a lot of guts and gutsurian. So how do you manage stress? How do you stay grounded?
So I put myself as a priority.
Yeah.
And this didn't come overnight. This is a learning of a decade now. I've learned that when I put myself as a priority before everyone else, and I show up for myself first, I'm able to give everyone from an empty cup and a grounded space. And you relate so much to that.
Yes, I love that.
So I have certain habits that I integrate in my day and in my life in general.
Yeah.
Some things are daily, some things are monthly, others are quarterly, but I make sure that they happen. So the daily routines is meditation and journaling are my main anchors, where I go back to myself. I get so much clarity, and I like to call it wahi. لأنه this is where God puts messages or clarity in your mind to know the reality of stuff and where you want to go, and you go back into your heart and follow that. This is maybe why over time I was more in touch with my heart and the messages that resonate with it.
Yeah.
So meditation is one, journaling is another, different types of journaling. So daily is the gratitude journaling, recognizing the good things that I already have in my life. Instead of thinking of the past or the future, I'm recognizing what's good now.
Yes, the presence, the beautiful presence.
And like that.
Yes,
You're in
exactly.
a beautiful space, having a beautiful conversation with beautiful people.
Yes, the beautiful land of Luqsor.
100%. And this is where you get the energy to do the hard stuff, because you're already in a good space. Yeah. And then working out is for me another type of meditation. The amount of clarity and messaging and good feelings and endorphins and how I feel good about myself in a good way, not in an egoistic way, in a good way, like in gratitude that I am strong, I am able to show up for myself, I gain credibility with myself over and over and over. So this part is critical, because within life you meet a lot of situations and people that make you doubt yourself, whether intentionally or unintentionally. And when you're anchored in yourself and you have your own habits that create this credibility,
I always say, go back to your center and let your center be love.
100%. And you're anchored because you know your value. So those three things are my main, and of course connecting with my kids, feeling that I'm doing my best in everything that I can, with compassion. And this is something I recently learned, and I do this to myself more.
Yes. Like I love that. And I come from a place, like I've been on that journey for the past 3 years, and I came from a place where I've learned about self-compassion. I wasn't compassionate. I was one of those like macho, I'll make it happen kind of person. And the message was so clear that no, you're not. As simple as that, right? And the past 3 years, they were self-discovery with everything that the word self-discovery requires, because it is dark. It's not always like, I'm not meditating on the mountain in beautiful Luqsor, No, sometimes you have to really face your shit and be honest with yourself. And uh, I found my rest, you know, and I stayed in my rest until I recovered, and that is very true. And I resonate so much with what you're saying. And then there comes that point where you feel like, okay, now it's time to start again. It's time to come back to your body fully and like get your joie de vivre even into your outside. Because what if you don't? Life happens when you have the energy, you know. And I feel like, I mean, I don't feel like it is known that strength, our strength training and fitness, it builds stamina. And I'm right now I'm in this space, and I love that this conversation is happening actually, because right now I can recognize the space where, yes, I'm exercising for resilience. I don't want to be resilient all the time. I want to be compassionate.
100%.
But I'm exercising for resilience. Why? Because when the time comes, when the stress hits, when the pain arrives, when the suffering is here, because that's how life is, I will have the physique, the mental space, and the heart space, and the body to endure it.
100%.
And to be able to like push through and say, you know what, I've been training for this.
100%.
Yeah, I've been training for when life gets tough.
It's marrying the
yeah.
feminine with the masculine.
Yes.
I think this is what I stand for, and I think this is what JDV stands for.
Yeah.
And
I think this is what
Beat
balance
stands for.
I think this is what balance is.
It's balance.
Like it's the balancing that circle of completion. And we were talking about that off camera, like that we can tap into when is needed, the masculine, we can tap into the masculine when it's needed, when we need to be in our leadership, when we need to be in our strength, when we need to be in our minds. And then we can also access that space of softness. We can access that space of compassion, of nurture, of love.
Emotional intelligence.
Yeah. So, Hager, this has been a pleasure. And I would love, obviously we have realized that we're in Luqsor. I said it so many times. We're shooting in a beautiful place called Memnon. And that's for a reason.
Yes.
Yes. And if you can.
I'd love to break it out for the first time with you.
Yes.
And I think Beat is all about the experience that I'm trying to transfer to people around me, to make everyone find their light, find their inner star, whether it's physical and mental and emotional, and living this experience day in, day out. So I couldn't find a better place than Luqsor, which is the resemblance or the symbol of power, strength, and grounding.
Yes.
So I'm arranging a retreat. Mm-hmm. This is how I call it, in Beat, in Luqsor, from 28th November to 4th of December, during the national holiday of the UAE, where I'm gonna be taking my members and anyone who's interested into a fitness journey combined with a lot of the sightseeing and the experience, and getting really this feeling and essence of strength and power that's grounded here, and working on themselves in a way where they come out of this retreat feeling whole, feeling relaxed, energized, rejuvenated, feeling good about themselves. And of course, community plays a huge role here. So I am just the advocate for starting that, but community creates it all, honestly.
Yeah.
So
who would be the perfect target for you to come with you on that retreat?
Anyone who wants to find themselves and find their inner strength. We create an environment where people will be pushed to their limits a bit according to each one's level, and also learn how to be compassionate and find ease in life. So I'd be happy to take people and inspire them to find the power and star. I want them to find their beat back.
Yes. And I hope everyone finds their beat. And in closing, what is Hager's life motto?
My life motto is just take a step. Everything starts with a step. So a step creates consistency. So with that, excellence, It's not something acquired. It's just a habit.
But you grow into excellence. I love that. And on that, I will be closing. And I think that's my joie de vivre for today in the beautiful land of Luxor. And I hope everyone who feels called and in resonance would contact Hager to be on that beautiful space, I would believe. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being here, and thank you, Memnon, for providing the space for us, and thank you for Luxor, because I always say Luxor is not for everybody, but it definitely, when you get to know her, she's a blessing.